I think I'm live, but usually it takes a while before you guys can hear me. So let me just wait for the chat to come, for this to be updated. Let me know when you can see me. This is always the weirdest part, just me talking to myself. I think we're live. I think we are live. I think. Yes, no, yes, no?
Nope.
No, not yet? Should be soon. I think. You can see me? Can you see me? We can see you. Yay! You guys can see me. Can you hear me all right? See me? Oh, shit. I can hear myself.
Can you see me?
Shut up, Ilona.
We can see you.
Sorry. I'm telling Eva over there to turn all of the audio off, and then here I am, just like having my whole audio on blast. Oh my God. Hi, guys. How are we all doing? I hope you're all well. I have Linda backstage. I'm not sure if you can hear me or if you can see me. I think you might be able to. She's going to come on as my first guest shortly. And I've got a few other guests coming on. So basically, let me just say hi to some of you guys in chat first before I get cracking with the live stream, I should say. So here we have Joe, GT, Lego, KK, Mama Anna, Janet, Lizzie F87, Robin, Angel. I want to say Angel. It sounds much nicer, I think. Green Gypsy, Bird, Robin, KK, GT. Said all of you guys already. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. Strong Woman, Brittany Cornelius, Tanya. We have Jenna, Hetty. So Bo is here too. The chat's lagging for me here. So basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to invite on people who have ghost stories, and they're just going to tell their stories, and we're going to go from there. We've got a super chat come through. Thank you, Debbie. I was going to say Debbie. I don't know why. Debbie Higgins. I was going to assume your name is Debbie. I don't even know why, but there we go. But thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. So I'll lay down a couple of ground rules, if you like. This is for fun, and if there's people in the chat that are being disruptive in the sense of they're not respecting people's stories that they're telling, whether you believe in it or not, it's not really about that. It is an open space. We're gonna just listen to the stories, and it's just for fun. It's for entertainment. And I personally, I don't know where I stand. I kind of don't believe, but I do love a good ghost story. So if somebody is being disruptive in the sense that they're saying like, oh, it's all fake, it's baloney, I will probably get my mods to time them out or get them just not to be on this particular stream. If people are being abusive to anybody that's a guest, or if people are just talking shit about me, normally I don't care. If I have a live stream where I'm on my own, I don't care. This is not the live stream for it. You know, this is a fun live stream. So anybody that's just being negative for the sake of being negative, I'm just gonna cast them out. They shall not be allowed in my little wizard, my sorceress kingdom, basically, or whatever I'm going for. So hey, I saw Teresa coming in as well. Hey, how are you doing? So also, whilst I am talking to somebody and they're telling their stories, I'll keep an eye on the chat, but I probably won't be very active in the chat simply because I kind of want to talk to the people, you know. So if people are sending super chats and stuff like that, I'll probably go over them and go back to them after we've had a chat with somebody. Or what I might do is I might just type in the chat box to acknowledge it. But I don't want to stop somebody mid-story just to acknowledge a super chat or something like that has come through, or so if somebody's saying something. But I might acknowledge it just in chat. And that's basically it. So I guess before we get started, hold on. I have this brings me to it. So here we have, what's it called now? Where you do the cleansing. It's not time. Go on, somebody remember. I've forgotten the name now. Sage. That's it. And the reason I have this is because on the 24th, which I think is the 24th, basically, let me double check before I say something and it's wrong. I think it's 24th. Yes, Saturday the 24th, late at night in the UK, in the US at 10 o'clock Pacific time. Me and Jana, we are going to go live. So my friend Jana, she's been on the channel many times, also into fitness, huge inspiration. Turns out the girl knows how to read tarot, and she's kind of into doing witchy things. So I won't talk on her behalf too much. I'll get her to explain it more. But what we're going to do on the 25th, we're going to have a live stream, and we're going to do some cleansing or smudging, I believe it's called. And then we're going to do tarot reads of the chat. But when I say we, she is. So people, she will explain how to go about it. But basically, she's going to pull cards for people in the chat. And we're going to go from there. And then she's going to pull a deck on me as well. And we might maybe play around with runes too. So a very, very exciting stream lined up at the end of the month. And I'll put the StreamYard out for that probably tomorrow, because I want to get this out of the way to not conflict the two live streams. So that's happening. If this is very successful and other people want to tell their story, I'll do this again next week. Like, I think this is fun. I think it's good to bring other people on, because I'm here because of you guys. So I would love for you guys to be able to come on here and also tell your stories if it's successful. And yeah, so I'll tell you basically my only kind of ghost story is that I used to live in a house in Sweden, and I don't know if it was because I was very depressed, going through a lot at that time, or whether it was because of the influences in the house. But I reckon we maybe had like poltergeist there, which from what I understand, a poltergeist is actually a manifestation of energies. And what would happen is, for example, I would always get into arguments with my stepdad because he would tell me to like turn off all the lights. And I knew I'd turn off all the lights. And I would have friends that would sleep over, and they're like, you turned off all the lights. And then in the mornings, I would get a bollocking for all the lights being turned on. And something else that would happen is that on one occasion, my mom was watching TV, and we had like a plant in the corner, and we had a German Shepherd. And when dogs are like scared, angry barking, like, you know, he was like scared. His body language was scared, but then his hairs were up, and he was just barking at this plant, and there was nothing there. So my mom walked over, and she just went like that, and the dog stopped barking, which is weird. I always kind of felt like I was being watched there. I've had people come into the house, and they always felt a bit awkward. And once I was at home alone, I knew I was home alone. And it's like, it's a lot of Swedish houses. It's this particular house was, the ground floor was like the garage, and there was like a sauna, and like Swedish houses, they all have saunas. But like a garage, a sauna, small living space, storage, etc. And then the top floor was where all the bedrooms and stuff were. It's bedroom, kitchen, all of that, living room. And from the top floor windows in the living room, you could see the whole street. And I could hear somebody, because I was doing my makeup in the bathroom, because it was like an L-shaped house. And it's an L-shaped house. So this is where the bedrooms and stuff were, and then like the living room space was here, and then like down here was the stairs to go down. That's a good look at it. But I was doing my makeup up here somewhere, and I could hear somebody walking down the stairs, closing all the doors, exiting through the garage, and then I was like, huh, that doesn't make sense, because I'm alone. So I walked to the window, and I couldn't see anybody down the street, and I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was somebody displaying a trick on me, but definitely like that I've never really felt the way that I felt like I did in that particular house. So I have no idea what it could be, whether it's poltergeist, whether it was my imagination, whether I was just in a bad place, and I don't know. So that's my little story. But I had a cat I thought, I've had a cat I was looking after that brought a poltergeist. It was so weird and scary, but I got rid of the poltergeist thanks to some tips from an online friend. So what I might actually just do is I don't really know how this works, but I know that sage is supposed to be good. So just for the sake of like good energy, because Ivo, he's a bit like, oh, he shouldn't be talking about ghost stories, just because, you know. Oh, so what I'll do is we'll get some good energy in here. Come on, evil spirits, be gone. You are not welcome. I don't know how this works, but the intention is there. We only want positive vibes, positive energy. Do not haunt me, please. I don't want any of that. So there we go. Let's turn. It's like I'm tapping out a cigarette. Does this die on its own? Do not smoke this. Don't smoke at all. Smoking is bad, guys. I don't know if this is dying. Anyway, I'm sure it will die. All right. Evo is right. Evo, you are fabulous. Wait, this is a chat about me. We're not talking about Evo here. Right. I think it is time to get my first guest on. So I do have some people potentially in backup. I hope you're in chat because I might shout out your name to get you to come online, because I do have your I've sent the links to the stream, and there could potentially be some technical difficulties. I'm not sure because I've never done a live stream with well, I have done it with other people, with Jana, but I've said to the people for the guests to come on, for them to make sure they have a mic, make sure they have headphones, because it might echo. It may be just fine, but if there's technical difficulties, if there's somebody in the chat that wants to come on, I can always send out the link, or I'll just call on my backups that I've written down. You know who you are. So whoever, Linda, you are due to come on. I just saw you appear backstage, and now you're gone. So whenever you're ready to come back, I'll just add you back. And yes, Valkyrie, also known as my mother, she is coming to the UK tomorrow, guys. So I'll definitely do a live stream with her. We'll probably do like a Q&A or something. She doesn't know about it. We're gonna do lots of vlogs. And for all the people that are waiting for training videos, Mum, you're gonna be a prop. You don't know this yet, but you do now. So Linda is here. Let me add her to the stream and go from there. Oh, how do I do that? Add to stream. There we go. Hey, Linda. Can you hear me? Oh, babe, can you get my headphones, please?
Hopefully. Hopefully.
I'm prepared here.
Hopefully. Hi. I can hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Hold on.
Yeah?
Just bear with me. Talk to the chat for a while. I'll get my headphones. I'm being stupid. The little ones on the table. The ones in the little box. The wireless ones.
Our connection isn't great.
They are there, babe.
Sure.
They're literally. Hold on. Typical. I should have prepared. Hold on. He's getting them. Do I need to come? Okay. The big one. No, the small ones. The ones in the little black box.
Okay.
There is though. Hold on. Bear with me. Let me just get my headphones. I'm being completely disorganized. Try not to flash you. Ugh. Oh no, they're here. Oh. He was right. I had them here. I was prepared. Hold on. Let me just get my Wi-Fi set up. Get this. Hold
on. Bad connection on the island.
So, just bear with me whilst I'm getting this set up. Sorry, guys. I can hear you now.
Hey, Tanya.
Sorry.
Yeah, the lag is real. Okay.
Hold on, there was a bit of a delay. But
you were right, GT. The lag is real.
Oh, what's happened? I think it's because I was playing through a different Bluetooth. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, KK.
I should have done this. I completely forgot. I got too excited.
Wonderful. We have a funky connection on the island today, so I think the lag is probably on my end.
Toto.
But it sounds a little better. I've got time.
Sorry.
I've got time. It's Friday.
Connect. They died.
Hi, Teresa. Hi, Jojo.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get them to turn on. Bear with me. I'm being useless. I'm so sorry. I'm being so sorry. Hold on. Connect.
It's Friday afternoon for me. I am done for the day. No, that's okay.
Ale, come on. I just got them to work and now they're not working. It's so annoying. Ale.
They started again.
Eh?
They started the actual.
What, the Bluetooth?
Change assistance.
Huh?
Can you help?
Yeah, they're not turning on.
Let's go.
You try and...
Your Bluetooth stopped on over here?
Yeah, the Bluetooth is not on there. Look, I mean, they're on, but it's like not connecting. So it says it's paired.
Okay, remove them and start repair them again.
Remove. Sorry, I've got my IT support here. Tech support. All right, connect. Oh. Other Bluetooth device.
Yes.
Come in.
We all should have tech support.
Right, other Bluetooth device.
One cigarette, Tanya? Just one?
Hey, it's turned on. It's not turned on.
Thank you, Willem.
I'm use my one.
Do you reckon they'll connect?
Try.
You'll have to turn.
I'm still in my work
Turn the Bluetooth
clothes.
on your phone, don't I?
It's software.
Is it? What are they called?
I don't know, you see.
Oh. Maybe it's working out. I think it might work.
Okay, put them on because not interfere with the waves.
Hold on. I think it's working.
Can you hear something?
I don't know. She's gone, Linda. So, connected music, connected voice and music. I think so.
Those are mine now, sorry. Here.
Those are. So, so what do you guys know what happened to Linda? Because I don't know if because the thing is I use a separate microphone and I don't usually not use headphones. So I'm just trying to pair my like wireless ones. Oh, here we go. Oh my God, I think it's working. Hold on. She's just waiting to get connected. Hold on. Is it working? Please work. I think she fell asleep waiting for you. I'm so sorry, guys. I should have I'm telling everybody else to sort things out, and then meanwhile I'm the one that's failing hard. I think she's trying to connect, but I'm not sure why it's taking some time. It'll be worth it. I know it. I have a good feeling about this.
Thanks. First time on the internet.
Oh my God, it's working! Hey, Linda. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. But we've got it to work.
Hi.
Oh. How are you doing? I'm so sorry about that.
There's a lag on my end as well.
What, between us or with the chat?
Let's not jinx ourselves.
Yeah.
Good. Happy Friday, everyone.
Good. Yeah,
no,
definitely.
We don't have the best service. I'm on an island, so our internet service can be funky.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody.
And I'm in the UK, so
everyone can hear me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I can hear you now. I've managed to finally. I had to unpair them. It was unprofessional of me. I apologize. I'm supposed to be the good host here, and then I'm just making you guys wait around. Terrible. So tell me. I hear from what I've seen, from what you told me in your summary, you sound like you have some good ghost stories. Are you ready?
The weather's great.
Is it? I know. We'll just have to pretend that it's really it's dreary and dreadful and horrible outside. It's storming. It's horrible. We can use our imaginations.
No.
So tell me, yes,
I
you had
hope.
two. Yeah. Tell us your stories. Scare us.
It is absolutely sunny, beautiful fall, crisp day here.
I think there's a lag.
Well, I'm going to preface this with none of these are my stories. I've never had any experiences, but I absolutely love this whole idea. So I volunteered 2 stories. The first was many years ago. I had a student. I had a student who lived in a house with her boyfriend and her daughter. Her daughter was about 4 or 5. And every now and then, at the doorway to the basement stairs out in the kitchen, out of the corner of their eye, they would see a woman in a long dress standing in that doorway. And nothing else happened, so they didn't think too much of it. Once they had relatives come for a visit, and everyone went for a walk after lunch except for one cousin. And when they came back, he had taken a nap, and he said, when I awakened from my nap, I saw out of the corner of my eye a woman in a long dress standing at the door to the basement. And they said, we've seen her before, but we didn't want to tell anybody because we thought people would think we were crazy. She also heard her daughter one day talking to herself in her room. So she went to her room and she said, honey, what are you doing? And she said, I'm playing. And she said, oh, who are you playing with? And she said, my friend Betsy. So she sort of dismissed it because lots of kids have invisible friends. Except that one day, fast forward maybe a year, her daughter is talking to herself again. And she goes in the bedroom and she said, are you playing with Betsy, is it? And she said, oh, yes, Betsy and her mom. No, usually invisible friends don't invite their mothers along. So she said, are they here? And her daughter said, they're right there. And she said, what are they wearing?
Just when it got good, we lost her, the reception. I think there's quite a big lag between her and me. So I just caught on, like, when we started talking, that the second that she's about like 10 to 15 seconds behind everything I was saying. I'll see if she comes back. We'll try it for another time, because like third time lucky, right? That's how it has to be. But if not, I do have Catherine already lined up backstage. So it may just be fine. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get Linda back. It is indeed a cliffhanger. Oh, hold on. She's coming back. Just wait for her to get connected. Oh, man, I know. Can you imagine your kids just talking to a person that's not there? I don't know if is that normal for kids to have imaginary friends? I don't think so. Is it? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe they all have imaginary friends. Oh, let me add her to the stream. There's stories with kids are always the worst, aren't they? Kids just talking to people that don't exist and seeing things. Oh my word. Island Wi-Fi has to suck. Yeah, it's probably like here in England with the bloody 3G that we have. What's that about? You're back?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh, that's strange.
Oh, now I can, yeah. How was that for suspense?
I know, right? Cliffhanger. There's quite a lag. I think, Linda, it's best if you just tell the stories.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it's best if you just tell the stories, because there is a delay.
So if I'm back in, I'm still hearing a little bit of a lag, but can everyone hear me again? Mm-hmm. Everybody, yes? Yeah? Okay.
Just tell the story.
Okay. And so, all right then. So she was back in her room, and her daughter had said, I'm playing with Betsy and her mom. I'm hearing you type. and and she said, her mom? What do they look like? And she said, what do they look like? And she said, they're both wearing long dresses and bonnets. And she said, honey, do they live here? And her daughter said, they used to live here, but this is my room now. So now they live in the basement.
Oh, oh my God. Do they still live there?
That's the end of that one. I don't know if it went through. Okay. Oh, okay. It did go through.
Oh, we lost her again. I think, hold on, let me just type in chat here, just so Linda can see it. I think it's maybe gonna be taking away from the moment if her connection keeps getting lost. So thank you, Linda. Should you watch this later or whenever you get a chance, thank you very much. But what I'll do is I will bring on Catherine now because she is also waiting backstage. And then if Linda comes back, I'll just type in chat here. Oh, she's just come back. Shall I try her again? A third time? Fourth time? Or not? I don't know. What do you guys think? Shall we gamble it again? Or shall we... Is it... Huh?
Try last time.
Last time. Okay. All right. All right. One last time. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, there
It's
is...
probably on my end. I don't know.
There is a really big
But I'm
lag.
here.
So what I'll get you
Ready
to
for number
do
two?
is tell your story. And then, yes.
Okay. Number two. I teach at a private institution, and we have a lot of old mansions that were purchased or donated. The office, my current office, is in a mansion that has a reputation. After midnight, you can hear the sounds of a party, like a dinner party, glasses, conversations, silverware, etc. And the man who worked in student activities, who was roughly my age at the time, his office was in the basement. When you go into the basement, on your right side, you have a door, a phone, a campus phone, and a little shelf. And then you have a doorway that locked, and that went into the postal area, the post boxes, the mailboxes. And then a big glass window next to it. By going into the post office area and going past that window, you would enter the office of student activities. And both the post office and the student activities had big fireplaces because in the 1800s, when these buildings were constructed, that was where the kitchen was, right? His office was back in that area by one of those fireplaces. One night, he was ready to leave work at midnight, and security prefers that we call late at night if we're in the buildings after hours. So he locked the door to the post office. He went to the phone to call security, and out of the corner of his eye, he saw a man in white go by. And he put the phone on the shelf and the receiver, and he went to the door to say, "Sir, we're closed." And then he realized he had just locked that door himself, and no one was in there when he locked the door. He went back, picked up the phone, and all he got was static. So he hung up the phone, left the building, and called security on his cell phone. Fast forward 3 or 4 months, and one floor above, on the first floor, they're clearing out a room so that they could repurpose it. And one of the things they're clearing out of the cupboard was a picture of the family chef all dressed in white. And his office is where the kitchen would have been. So he thinks he saw the chef. And the stories on our campus and all these different buildings abound. But that's the one of the two that got me the most. And Ghost Hunters, if you've ever seen Ghost Hunters, the guys from Tops, they have visited our location on more than one occasion, I think. So, and that's my stories.
I think there's going to be a lag, but thank you very much.
Tanya needs whiskey.
Thank you very much for sharing. I really appreciate you coming on. And there were scary stories, especially the kid one. The kid one was the worst, I think. There is a very big lag.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I was like, which one is the worst?
Well, I'm gonna say bye to you now, Linda. And
yeah,
I
might join you on my cell phone after.
Yeah, yes, do so. So thank you. I'll hopefully see you in the comments and in the chat here.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
All right. See ya. All right.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. So.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. All right. So that's that. Linda is gone. It's a shame about the lag because it makes it difficult to try and have a conversation. But I really appreciate her for being here, I should say, and sharing her story. So next we're going to get on Catherine. Catherine actually has a channel as well. So I have linked that down below. She has AuthorTube. So I'm not actually 100% sure if she writes her own books or whether she just reads them. But we'll find out like now. So I'm about to add you, Catherine. Hey, how's it going?
It's doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So your AuthorTube, does that mean you write the stories you read, or you just read them out with sound effects?
I write them.
Nice. I did check it out briefly, but I've been so busy I haven't had a chance, but I would love to check it out. So her video is in the description. She does like, what would you call it? Like third sense reading almost, where you have like sound effects and all of that going?
That was actually an experiment that my husband and I were doing. I hope will continue, but we were doing an ASMR reading because for some reason YouTube thinks I'm ASMR channel. So we were doing an ASMR with sound effects and without sound effects.
Right. I think ASMR is quite popular though. So if you can succeed in that.
That's what I'm hoping. I made this back when I had an agent. I do not have a literary agent at this moment, but I was doing it for publicity and stuff like that, and that's kind of what happened. I write a lot of dark stories.
Dark stories. So is it sort of like a thriller, or is it more suspense? Is it gore, horror?
I don't really do gore horror too much. I'm a psychological horror type writer. I will put romance in there, and I will do mythology the way it should be, like soul-eating elves and fairies, like they were in the Celtic era.
Right, not the cute ones that we see nowadays, like Tinkerbell.
Yeah, not them.
That sounds good, actually. Is it a lot of it? Is it sort of not mythology based, but fantasy? Like, is it like dark fantasy?
I do contemporary dark fantasy, so I do make it our world. I just put fantastical elements in there.
Oh, that sounds good. So, guys, her link to her channel is in the description, so be sure to check that out if there's something you're interested in. Yeah, her mug looks like my skull that I have over here. It's just hers is from drinking. Mine is just a candlelight.
Let me bring in the other one.
Yeah.
I write with my skulls because they help the mood.
Do they?
They do for me.
Yeah. That's good. So you just sit there and caress the skull, do you? So does it come to me thoughts?
Yes.
All right, so tell me, like, I think from your email, it sounds like you have quite a few scary stories to be going over. So just go ahead, scare us.
All right. Well, the first one, I couldn't get the whole thing in the email because we would have been here all day. The stories do happen to me. In my family, we actually have a sixth sense. So each of us has something. My grandmother, when she was alive, could actually see the parts of the future. My mom can feel emotions. I, unfortunately or fortunately, can see the dead. And it can get very scary because I tend to attract the dark spirits, whether I like it or not. So I've
you
had
see
to
like
cleanse
dead people
myself.
everywhere, like the Sixth Sense.
Not as much as I used to because I've cleansed myself to try to keep them from bothering me. But yeah, I actually have to sleep with the TV on because if not, I hear things and I can't sleep.
That would be terrifying. So tell me, if you want, tell us some of your scariest stories, because like I don't know how this works, especially like, is it, because I was having actually, you might know this better because like clearly you have experience with this, but me and Eva were talking about it, and he was a little bit, he is more into spirituality, into religion than what I am. I'm kind of like on the fence. I don't not believe, but I don't believe either. I'm kind of like, things have happened, I can't explain it. I'm open to the thought of it, but I'm not fully, I kind of am at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm fully there. But he was very much like, talking about this is potentially even just attracting, like, just bringing it to light is potentially like attracting negative energies to you. Does it work like that? Do you have to be careful with playing with things from the other side? So doing things like Ouija boards, do you have to be mindful of potentially opening yourself up?
I don't touch the Ouija boards. Hell no. In fact, I told you in my story there was a Ouija board involved, and I'm like, no, absolutely not. I've talked to people that do Wicca and all of them, and they tell me don't touch those because I'm very I don't know, clairvoyant's the right way, but yeah, I attract things, so I've had to actually do cleansing on me to keep them from bothering me. But yeah, no, I don't touch that stuff. Absolutely not.
Yeah. So tell us, share some of your experiences. Have you ever done a Ouija board?
No, I refuse. I also have refused a seance. I will not touch those.
Right.
I'm not sure if I would bring something here. I've heard people that do the seances and they're fine, but I'm not even going to attempt that at all.
Yeah.
So the story that I had started in the email actually happened when I was middle school, high school range. My friend was having a weekend slumber party for her birthday, and she gathered a whole bunch of friends, and one of my friends said that she wasn't going to go. And I decided, okay, I'll go because it'd be fun. You know, I like slumber parties. And it was okay for the most part. And then we went back to her house, and we were supposed to set up in the basement, and that's what, the moment I walked right in the doorway of the basement, I froze and I said, can I sleep somewhere else? I can't do this place. And her mom's like, oh no, all you girls have to sleep down there. And like walking down that staircase was like life being sucked out of me. It was dark, it was cold, and I mean, I'm in Colorado at this point, so I'm used to cold, mind you, but this was the type of cold that
to the bone.
you feel like you're dying inside cold. It was leeching. It was horrible. When I went down to the last step of the basement, I looked around. It's a very nice big basement, but I noticed 4 shadows each in the corners. And yeah, that seems very cliche, but that's where they were. and they all turned their attention immediately to me. When I say I couldn't see their faces, they were just these black, dark spirits. That's what they were. They were dark. They were menacing. They were black. It was, and I've seen these guys a couple times. Not these particular spirits, but spirits like them. Believe me, I could tell you about what my house was like growing up.
Mhm.
I had, I literally just threw my stuff on the ground and ran upstairs. That's what I did, because I said, I can't be in that place. And, I did tell my friend, I said, look, I said, there are ghosts down there and they're not very friendly. And she's like, I've always felt something there. And I'm like, well, yeah, these guys are not friendly. But we proceeded to have the birthday party. And then at the middle of the night, I was being okay. I was okay. They were staying in their corners. I was like, okay. I was watching them like a hawk. And my friend decides she wants to pull out a candle seance. And I bolted upstairs. I went outside into their patio and it was snowing. Like, it was full on snowing. And when she came out to me, I said, there's no way I'm doing a seance down there. And she said, well, you can have the white candle, which means spirituality and goodness. All we want to do is ask makeup advice. And I said, honey, you do a seance there, you're not going to get friendly female spirits giving you makeup advice. You're going to get other things. And I told them that I'd stay outside. I told them I'd sleep in the snow. I was just dead serious. I'm not going down there. You can have your seance, but I will stay out here and then I'll go home, because I'm not going down there. But I was able to talk them down. Whether they think I was a coward or not, I have no idea. But they said, okay, we won't do it. And we proceeded to go to sleep. And this is just day 1 out of 2, mind you.
Right.
So they proceeded to go to sleep. I'm right next to a friend of mine, and it took a while for me to go to sleep. But in the middle of the night, we're all woken up by something slamming onto the window. And nobody knows what's going on. I wake up and I see the spirits have moved closer. And they're like watching, they're hovering. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And the thing is that none of the windows were open. Nobody was near where this place was and I think it was either the blinds or something was thrown at the window from the inside. And it was completely spooky, but we managed to get back to sleep. And when I woke up in the morning of day 1, my poor friend was like terrified, because I was like perched on her all night, just holding her. She couldn't move. I was not letting her move. And after day 1, I called my other friend, who's also clairvoyant like me. And I said, I can't stay here one more night without you. You need to come here. I need help. And I think day 2 is the most spookiest of it, even if it didn't seem.
Oh,
spooky.
this was nothing. This was the easy day, was it?
It was as easy as it could be. I mean, that place is scary. The moment my second friend came, and she said she only come because of me, because she didn't really know this other friend, and she doesn't like sleepovers. She's just more introverted. I'm a very extrovert person. So she comes in and she walks into that basement and she's like, there's 4 evil spirits here. And I said, no, really. I'm well aware of this. And I said, she's like, how did you live one night through it? And I said, yeah, I don't know. She managed to set her stuff up, and we were trying to do like role playing, invention games, something to keep our minds off of these spirits who are just staring at us hungrily. And my friend, the birthday girl, keeps trying to say we're going to be okay, and I'm sitting here going, this is not going to work out well. I don't like this.
So why did you guys stay there? So why were you guys staying there? If everybody was feeling uncomfortable, why did you stay?
The thing is that the other girls, like there was like 8 to 10 of us, and most of them just were freaked out because of noise, but they didn't see the spirits. They didn't feel them. They didn't know anything. The birthday girl lives there. That's her house, so she's very used to the place. Yeah, and so where else were we gonna go? So I don't think we went to sleep until about 2 a.m. And when we managed, that's when it got really scary because I actually got attacked by the four spirits. They
Did
actually
you?
came over and started clawing me. They were attacking me.
Really?
And on top of that, I was fighting them. And, I know my friend, she said she was awake. She was witnessing all of it. She was terrified. And in the morning, she woke up with nothing but claw marks, same as me. Some of them were from me, and some of them were from the ghost, because I was clawing
Yeah.
her. They were clawing me. Yeah, it was scary. After that, I was like, there's no way, come hell or high water, am I going back to that house? And I never went back to that house.
So when you get spirits like that, what are they? Are they like demons? Are they just like spirits that have passed over and they have like lingered too long? Or are they just the evil people that died? Or is it just, because there's different ways of looking at it, right? Depending on what you believe. Or could it be a combination of all three?
Well, see, I wasn't sure what these guys were. They could have been demonic. They could have been ghosts with bad pasts and histories. They could have been just very dark entities that did not want to leave. And I never stayed long enough to figure out what they were, but they definitely meant to harm us.
Yeah.
And because my friend and I could feel them and could see them, they wanted to prey on that attention because there's a lot of energy and they like that energy.
Yeah.
When somebody with a lot of energy comes in, the spirit wants to take it because then they can manifest. They can, they can power themselves up. They like that. Every time you see something floating, it takes a lot of energy for a spirit to do that. They can't just do it. That's why you'll feel the rooms get really cold and you'll feel, like you're getting tired and drained, is because they're using energy to manifest every time they want to do something.
Right. So what's the difference? How do you, as somebody who isn't necessarily clairvoyant or anything like that, like how do you know if you believe there's energies around you? How do you know if it's good or bad? Is it just something you know instinctively? You can just feel if something's evil? Or is it like even good spirits, good ghosts, whatever, do they feel the same to us for like the unknown, the unexperienced?
Not to me. They actually, yeah, I can tell the difference between a good and a bad spirit. There was one time I was watching TV in my childhood house, and that one was really haunted too. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this 16-year-old boy who's literally sitting there in green t-shirt, blue jeans, not black hair, it was brown hair, kind of shaggy, and he had half of his head removed. Don't know what happened, but all he was doing was watching TV with me, and I actually saw what he looked like. And he just kind of looked at me and then went back to watching TV. He was fine. He was not a bad spirit. He just had a very unfortunate accident happen to him.
Yeah. So I just got a question here. This is like, why would spirits use energy if it's like that difficult to like for them to manifest? Why would they use energies to make an object float? Is it just to like scare us and like they feed off the negative energy, or is it just to make their presence aware?
It depends on the ghost. A lot of times they want to make their presence aware, especially if they don't want you in that place. If they want you to go away, they'll try to find ways to do it. That's why you'll see people with the EMF readers and stuff and try to get some type of proof, because there have been recordings of ghosts saying go away and stuff like that, because it's still there in their mind. Half the time they're stuck in where they live. So for them, the house you're living in is still their house. They haven't realized. And that's if they're a spirit, not demonic possession. That's completely different. Demons will go where they feel they can go.
Yeah. Would you do you think that like the spirit world and our world, do you think it's like different dimensions and sometimes they just like clash because the dimensions are closely interlinked, or is it all on the same plane and it's just some people are more susceptible to seeing it compared to others?
I actually wrote it in a paranormal romance book of mine with Grim Reapers, and I overlapped the two worlds, because I believe very much that our world and the spirit world overlap one another. I mean, that's my belief. I don't have proof to it, but that's my belief.
No, it's just interesting. Go on. It's just interesting to hear theories, because there is different theories on it, you know. So somebody is saying, well, actually, not somebody. It's like my mother. Like my mother is saying, demons can go nowhere unless invited. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the problem is a lot of people are dumb enough to invite a demon without realizing they did. Seances, Ouija boards. If you don't know what you're doing, you can invite them in. And they can also get attached to you as the person. So if you go into a graveyard and you do some type of disturbing the graves, or a spell or a seance, something that you have known nothing about, they can attach to you and they can go with you. And then you have to cleanse yourself, not your home. You have to literally do kind of like an exorcist thing, which the Catholics will do. I know I'm Catholic, but yeah, demons don't have a say unless you give them a say. And most of the time people give them a say unknowingly.
Right. Have you ever known anybody to have been, not this, maybe either possession, like actual possession, or they have just been like haunted by like a very evil presence?
I had a spirit attached to me. That's why I had to cleanse myself at one point. I'm not sure if it was evil or not, but they followed me constantly and I did not feel very, very good. Thankfully, I didn't have to have like a huge, I didn't have to call the Catholic church or anything. I was able to cleanse it myself, but I remember it being very upset when I made it so it couldn't go near me. I woke up in the middle of the night and it was literally pounding at the space that was my door because it couldn't go near me anymore after I did what I did. But it followed me a lot.
Right. And how does it make you feel? Like, what does it feel like if you have something attached to you, or you're like, I mean, like, obviously you look at the movies and then you assume that demonic possession is like a certain way, but I would imagine, like, not from just assuming based on nothing except for just whatever goes on in my brain, that you probably feel like really tired and really lethargic, probably like very like run down, depressed, unmotivated. Like somebody's literally sucking your energy, but like not just your physical energy, your mental energy as well.
So, and I'm not sure if it differs from good spirits or bad spirits, but I do know you do feel drained. I also feel like I'm always being watched. Things are not just me. And then there are times when I'll have memories of a time that I didn't live in, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? What's going on? And it's a really weird feeling because you really feel like you're not entirely yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting.
But I don't know if it differs from bad to good because all spirits need energy. They just don't have it anymore. They lost what helped them do that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if anybody in the chat, Teresa Newton. I have a question for Catherine. If you are in Colorado, do you think that the Chris Voss house is haunted now? It probably is, to be fair.
Well, to be fair, I'm no longer in Colorado, so I don't know, and I can't pull up chat or I'll probably lose my connection because I actually had to change from my tablet because my phone decided internet doesn't work. I don't know why. It just doesn't want to connect. I do live in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, which is known for Edgar Allan Poe and a lot of haunting places. And I can tell you there's a lot of ghosts there. There's a lot of ghosts. It's lousy with them.
And do you know, can anybody become a ghost? So say you have had the best life and you pass away peacefully in your sleep, just a pleasant heart attack, as pleasant as that can be, but you've lived a long life, you had a good life, you're loved, you go away peacefully. Can anybody just become a spirit?
I don't know personally. I do know that most of the time the ghosts that stay, it's because they A, do not know that they're dead, or B, they had unfinished business. A lot of times it's people who've died in violent ends, or they're not aware that they've died that stay. I don't know about any that have been happy lives and have stayed. But
I guess it doesn't make
like, I'm
sense,
not
right? Because why? Yeah, I guess it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to want to stay somewhere if you've fulfilled, you're quite happy to move on. But
I would
yeah,
think
yeah. But that was really interesting. I don't know if you've got any other stories you want to share.
so. Let's see. I've got plenty, but I've got one. I mean, I've got one. I've got a few from my childhood. We have. I even have ones from my grandma telling me about what happened to her. But like one of them was a house that my family and I had gotten when I lived in Colorado, and we had just come back from Germany, so this was a new country. Well, I say new country. I was born in America, but I lived mostly in Germany, and then I came back. So for me, it was like the first time remembering being in America. And my mom was trying to find a house that was emotionally good for our family because she has those type of feelings. She obviously didn't feel much with this house because she thought it was okay. And everything started happening when I picked a certain room that had the door to our attic. Nobody went in there. Nobody did anything about that attic because we didn't feel like we needed to. And one day I had woken up and the attic door was completely flung open. The windows were not open, although my dad tried to tell me, oh yeah, the wind did it. I'm like, the wind wasn't open. And plus this was very flush. The door was very flush in the ceiling. So I, unless my older brother decided he was going to play a trick on me, which he said he didn't, but the attic door was opened and my dad was able to close it. But then it started bringing other things. That's when I started feeling the first dark entity in my house. And I feel he was very male, probably in middle-aged male, very angry. I never got to see his face because he was also very shadowed, which I think was fine. I really don't want to. I don't want to see them if I don't have to because it really haunts you. I mean, I'm finally in a place, knock on wood, that doesn't have anything, so I'm able to live in relative peace. But you always get that feeling of being watched. Well, this ghost, he likes to torment me. He would drop things and make things, move. He had no problem, doing small things here and there to bother me. Take things away, then make them show up. And I remember a lot of my friends would stay the night at our house and they would wake up to somebody walking up the stairs. And
Right.
I tried to dismiss it as the house settling, but it was not settling. And
there's a difference between there's a creaking in the walls because there's some wind and like tunk 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 tunk. Footsteps sound quite different from like just wind creaking the house. No, don't worry, it's just the rats.
And it sounded like those construction type boots on the ceiling. It was in the attic, but you could also hear it coming up the stairs. Never actually saw the guy when he was doing it. I saw him a lot, but he didn't like to manifest himself physically to any of my friends. He was very much, I'm just going to poltergeist you guys. And that one was actually a spirit that was following me, so I had to cleanse myself of him. But once I cleansed myself, he started bothering my younger brother. And my younger brother had inherited the room that I was in. And he started bothering my younger brother. My younger brother to this day has a hard time sleeping because of this guy. One time I had asked a boyfriend at the time to go up to the attic because I told him about all this stuff. And he went up there and he said that there was a guy who had a tragic accident that happened in that attic, and the spirit has never left. He described what happened. It was gruesome, but it was an interesting thing. And that was the same house that had the good boy. And I liked the good boy. He was actually pretty nice, but the bad man was definitely not a nice man. He had no problem scaring me.
Yeah, I am listening, so I'm just responding to a super chat here.
Oh,
If
it's
you're-
fine. I like it says there's 80 chats on my thing because I just can't look at the chats. I could probably
So- What is it though? Why is it that like attics and basements they make you feel more scared? Because I remember, and my mom, I don't know, like my mom can maybe confirm whether or not there was something. The house in Koudekerke, was there something in that bloody attic? Because we used to walk up. It could just be being a kid, me being a kid, and me being scared. But I used to always sleep in the attic. That was my bedroom. And as you woke up, there was like a crawl space that was very dark. And I was always shit scared of that. And then in my room, there was like a crawl space that was boarded off. But you could go into it. Like it was like easy to access. But I just remember I was always so scared of it. And I don't know if that was just because I was being a kid or if there was actually something there. So I don't know. I don't know if it was just being a kid and just winding myself up, but I remember it just so vividly, like always being scared. Like I've forgotten about it literally until you were just talking now about attics, and then I just remember always just in the attic. Oh, there was something there. Oh my word! How dare you, mother? Oh, that's fucking creeping me out. I knew it. Now you're saying that. You have to tell me. You have to tell. How can you? Oh, my mom. She's got some good stories too.
Nice.
Because
I
one
love
night
the
it made so much bloody noise I couldn't sleep. And you let me have my bedroom up there. What kind of parent are you? How dare you throw me into the lion's den like that? I'm like a 6-year-old kid or a 10-year-old kid. I'm only messing. I will tell you when I'm there. Oh, you should tell it now, though.
I can tell you that the reason why basements and attics seem to have problems is most of them, probably 75, if not more %, aren't actually hauntings. A lot of them are electrical wires and pipes that are not done right. They're not grounded right. And so they set off huge EMF readings that actually mess with our head psychologically. That's actually why there's a lot of things that are debunked, because if it's not done correctly, you will have a lot of, I don't think it's radiation, but other things that go into your brain to psych you out. So that's why a lot of places like Ghost Hunters International, I don't know how real they are because reality TV, but they'll go and try to debunk it first, because most cases are due to faulty wirings and stuff, but not all cases.
I see. Even the house in Halsterhammer, we had some entities. Can't you remember? I started off the live with that. You have to. Can you come onto this stream? I can send you the link, Mum. You have to tell us about this because I remember these things. Do you mind? We still have time anyway. I want to carry stories from my past, but I don't know if she wants to come onto the live though. I don't know if my mum's ready for that. Plus, I've got Pixie Face waiting as well, so. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't want to. No, I don't want to come alive and take a shower and I look like shit. Guys, when my mum is here and she looks pretty, we'll go over these stories. I knew it. I knew there was something in the house of Halsterhammer because I always remember. Do you remember, Mum, how Mike would always tell me off for leaving the lights on, and I would always turn the lights off, and he would always give me shit for turning the lights on and leaving them on. I remember it. It's funny you say that because, like, when you were saying about the attic, I had genuinely completely forgotten about this house. I'd completely forgotten about how I always felt going in there. And I remember one time just being, like, brave enough to go into the hall with, like, the lights on and stuff. But it was always just, I don't know, just thinking back on it, it's still making me actually feel creepy, like, to this day now. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it by now, so it doesn't bother me too much. But I still do like to keep the lights on at times and have loud music. Thankfully, my husband is sympathetic.
Oh, is he?
Yes,
yeah, I guess
it's a good thing
to
have somebody sympathetic.
Yeah. So do you, like, if you're out and about and say you're in a restaurant or something like that and you're like just eating your dinner and you look up, do you sometimes just see people just standing there, just there, like just next to your table? It's not like that. It's not actually like I see dead people, like the Sixth Sense.
A lot of times the dead people don't realize they're dead. So you could be sitting there and somebody will walk and they might give you a look. But for the most part, they'll just go back to what they're doing. some of them are also locked onto their death scenes because that's all they can remember. Because sometimes you don't have a personal haunting, you have a what do they call it? History haunting. Like if some terrific bar fight happens somewhere, then it might be that manifests, and not so much the spirit. It might just be what was left there, the energies. A lot of times they're not going to stop by and scare you, because a lot of times they don't even know they're dead. The malefic, the evil ones, the malevolent spirits, they're the ones that'll seek you out. And that's why I have kept myself pretty much cleansed. I have a few amulets and stuff that keep me so that they don't bother me as much.
Right. Oh,
but they feel my
that's all
story.
very interesting. Yeah, it's all kind of scary and all very interesting. But I think I'm going to move on to my next guest. So thank you very much for coming. I really appreciated you coming along. Again, guys, check out her channel. She is an author. She does like live readings of her book. And yeah, this is really interesting. Thank you so much. I learned a lot. So I'll see how this goes. I might do. Oh, I'm losing my headphones. I might do this again next week. And then if you've got more stories and you want to come back on, you're more than welcome.
Sure, no problem.
All right, cool. Well, nice meeting you, and enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your day, and the rest of your weekend.
No problem. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'll add you in a second, Pixie Face, so bear with me. See, I actually just noticed that Pixie Face did say in chat that apparently you can just join by doing just audio. So maybe I might add you, Pixie Face, because you may know how to do this. Hi.
Oh God, no, I don't know. Hi.
Hi, IT support. Are you ready? Nice to see you, by the way. I always see you in my comment section. Thank you so much for just being a regular commenter. I appreciate it. And thank you for the super chat, by the way, Dolly. Thank you.
Yeah, all I know is just like on the bottom, like you can disable the camera.
So let me have a look, actually.
Let me see if I can do it real quick. Yeah, just click on the little cam icon and it'll keep the mic going. So if you want to put your mom on real quick, that's fine.
I can mute it. It's all right. Yeah. So, Mum, listen, are you there? Basically, if I bring you on, I think even when you come into the studio, you have the option to turn on the camera. So you can even just turn off the camera before you come on altogether, I think. I think you can. Do you want to do that? Do you mind being audio only? Because I think that would be great. Because it was good. It's definitely going to creep me the hell out. Would you do that, Mum?
Thank you,
no? Am I pressing you? How do I come on then? All right, let me.
Yeah,
I'll send you.
If you want to kick me off real quick, I'm
no, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's all right. My mum can come after, so she could try and figure out what I can do. Is I'll get her backstage, and then I think even if you are backstage, you can already select whether she can play around with settings. Mm-hmm. So I'll give her just some time to play around with settings. But just let me email her.
Go for it. I'm just.
And of course, my email is going to go slow, but
it doesn't always.
I know it's typical, isn't it? Actually, it might be better. It might be better if I do it from here.
Go for it.
Because I'm sure this will work. Do you know there's such an enormous leg on my phone? It's ridiculous. On my chat on my phone.
So
let me find it.
Yeah. Hey everybody.
But anyway,
how
have you been doing?
Pretty good. My son, I've been dealing with technical difficulties all day. One of my sons is autistic, and he's just gotten selected into the special programming and education. So I had to have a huge meeting with about 10 different people this morning, just confirming just all the legal crap. But it was all over chat, and these headphones didn't. I'm like sitting there like an idiot for like 5 minutes, and they finally got me. Like they just typed. They're like, "We can't hear you." And I was just like, "Oh God!"
Oh really?
Having like a mini panic attack.
That must be really hard. Like, is the autism your son has? Is it like really severe or?
He's nonverbal. He's not aggressive. Oh, wow. He's like, if you were to watch him, he seems like a pretty normal kid. But yeah, he hasn't really said his first word. He gives sustained eye contact. When we were doing his evaluation, they said they like do it in a triangle. Like they have 3 different sections of autism that they test for, and they're like, he's pretty well rounded. They're like, he was a nice little circle. So just between just like intellectual, cognitive, verbal, social, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's tough, but we're finally getting him some help. So
yeah, I mean, like, what is it you can do, right?
yeah, exactly. So
Just be incredibly patient, I guess.
yeah, exactly. So it's exciting though, because for him, he's finally getting help that he needs. And then also for me, it finally opens up some of my schedule. Like the fact that he's going to be at school from like 7:30 to 3:00. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with all this time? Because I have an older son and I homeschool him, and I homeschooled him before all this mess. So, yeah, and it was always a thing growing up when my younger son was younger. We just couldn't afford childcare. Like, so for me to go back to work, we actually would lose money because childcare is like $400 a week. Yeah. So it's just like, I'm not going to make that much.
Yeah. No, but it's very sad that it is like that, because I've known of people that rely on, like benefits and stuff like that. And a lot of them do actually want to go back to work, but they're like, why would I, if I'm going to be financially a lot worse off? And it's sad, like, you should, if people want to go to work, you should try and like encourage them to go to work and meet them halfway or something,
I have a friend, it's horrible. She has some kind of genetic thing where her body attacks the baby. And so she's had her first 3, all were born. It's some kind of metabolic thing. And they're tiny. They never progress over like 3 months old. They've had 2 of their children have died, and their third one, who has it, is 8 years old and is about like, he's so thin and everything. But what's horrible is that they're on Medicaid, which is, like benefits and stuff. And so he has a feeding tube. And so basically her husband can never take a job promotion because they'll make too much money and they can't afford his the stuff. So they're basically waiting for him, to put it bluntly, they're waiting for him to die so their life can, and he's going to die. There's, they're lucky that he's lived to be 8. So it's horrible that like they just can't move on. Like he can't further his career. She can't go back to work. They're just kind of stuck. And it's like, to be in such a horrible place to sit there and be like, well, I'm just kind of waiting for my son to die. It's like, my God.
I can't imagine. What a horrible.
Yeah. So I don't know the name of the metabolic thing or whatever. They're not even quite sure either. She has two normal children now as well. So she's had 5 total. So they're fine. Everything. But
It must be so scary to have something, because like me and Eva, we were talking about it, and about like, as you get older, obviously there's just chances that things go wrong with pregnancy and all of that. And I was just saying, like, imagine if you miscarry or something like that, then if that happens like once or twice, like, I don't know, or it would really put me off from potentially, because like imagine like something growing inside of you, and then for whatever reason, it dies or something happens. It's like, man, it's like I don't even want to I don't want to think about it, but it is things you do have to think about, because there are potentials. But anyway, these are really depressing stories. Let's talk about your sleeper realms demon called Carl, right? That's his name, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah. I had to name him Carl just for like the meme, just the damn it Carl, just to give him a funny name because he sticks around. So I guess it would have been around 8 years ago when after I had my firstborn. He was still in his little bassinet, so I'm guessing he was under 6 months old. And yeah, it was just in the middle of the night, and I woke up, or I thought I woke up, and I just couldn't move. And people who have sleep paralysis, it's very the feeling like you've got weights on your chest and stuff like that. That's very common. But yeah, and just looking around, being like, why can't I move? I saw this like Slenderman, very, very tall, very long legs, very long arms, but no white head, just a silhouette. just standing in my doorway, and I just knew, and I couldn't move, and I'm immediately looking at my son, and like just because the his bassinet was right in line for the doorway when you walked into the room, so he was just like a straight shot, and I just remember that feeling of just, and my husband's asleep right next to me, and just that feeling of not even being able to like turn my head, and I was just like, but nothing's coming out, and I'm like screaming. But
could you move anything? Is it just
No.
complete frozen?
Yeah, like actual sleep paralysis, medically speaking, is just when you're in REM sleep, because you can't move when you're in REM sleep. You're paralyzed. And usually it switches
The
over.
brain wakes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the body's asleep still.
Yeah. And so sometimes it happens where there's just like a disconnect, and your body just doesn't move. And yeah, it is extremely weird. And like I said, there's this weight and everything, and there's this fear, because it's difficult to breathe too. Just because you're panicking, but your body's still in that, when you're in REM sleep, you're doing that deep breathing and stuff. So nothing's matching up. And so, but it was so real. And when I finally woke up, everything's fine, nobody's there. And my husband's still snoring, looked over at Cade, my older son. He's still just cute little baby snores and everything. And that was it. And so years went by. And we moved into another house. And not to go on too much of a tangent, but we were just like literally living paycheck to paycheck. And we had a shit bed. And but we couldn't afford a new mattress, so we came up with this idea to sleep in hammocks, which is a whole nother tangent, but like actual Mayan hammocks, not like the ones with the bar and you go on vacation. But that was like only $200. So we sold a couple of things, and we started sleeping in hammocks. And so when you sleep in a hammock, you have to sleep on your back. That's when he started showing up more. And a lot of people can't sleep on their back because it gives them anxiety. And so
I never sleep on my back. I'm very much a fetal sleeper.
Yeah.
Evo, I don't know. I always call him a pretzel when he's in bed, because I don't know how he sleeps, but he's like all different ways,
Does he complain about a sore neck in the morning?
Sometimes he's a bit stiff, but he's not too bad considering.
Yeah,
but I'm definitely on my right side. I'm very much a fetal position sleeper.
Yeah, same here. But so yeah, I was having problems with insomnia anyways. Just unrelated things going on in my life. But one morning, or I guess it happened at like 2:30 in the morning, I think. I just one of those times where I just woke up in the middle of my sleep, normal. But I just look, and Carl is right over me. He still doesn't have a face, but he's reaching, like his face. Yeah. And that's when I actually was like, my husband said, I was like, oh, fuck, no. And then I just, this blood curdling scream, and it didn't wake me up. My poor husband had to be like, babe. And that's when I woke up, and of course, Carl's gone. But like my throat was just parched. And I mean, I haven't screamed like that since I was probably a child. And my husband was just like, yeah, I heard you, like, just like, oh shit, oh fuck, or, like just panicking in your sleep. And then you just, just like a banshee almost. And I was so exhausted, just physically. We had a futon, just because we had hammocks and you can hang them up when you're done. So we had like a ton of room in our bedroom. So we got just like a nice futon to sit in and just chill when we were in our bedroom. But I put it down, and I slept just on the futon, even though it was a shit mattress. And I never slept in that hammock again. I was just like, hell no.
Have you seen Carl since?
Yeah, he's definitely, it only happens when I sleep on my back, which that only happens when I do it in my sleep. I purposely go to sleep on my left side fetal position every night. But yeah, he's been right over me again. And the latest time, which was, I want to say it was a couple months ago, so pretty recent. And now he has a face. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it a face?
What?
Is it a friendly face?
No. It's the still a silhouette. He's always been a silhouette, except for his hand. Like his hand was, I don't know what, but it's like one of those things subconsciously you just know it's a hand, even though, ugh. But yeah, no, it's like the wide eyes, beady white eyes with teeth like this.
Yeah.
No nose. But the last time he showed up, I literally was just like, oh, fuck off, Carl. Like, I'm tired. Just after a while of just, and I do like have auditory hallucinations.
Yeah.
So now it's just more of annoyance. Like, and he hasn't come around for a while, but I've also not been very, and my insomnia has gotten better since I've been losing weight, thanks to you.
Oh, well, glad to hear. And
I'm almost down to, so I've been sleeping better and stuff like that. But my uncle has sleep paralysis problems too, and he has a demon. But yeah, like my husband teases. He's like, "Oh, you got yourself your own little pet demon." I'm like, "Oh my God." And my mom's the same. She thinks she thinks something's going on, and we're Christian. And so I was like, Mom, like biblically speaking, Christians can't be possessed. And so my mom's just kind of like, well, you need to like figure this out. I'm like, Mom, he can't do anything to me. He's just annoying.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting with sleep paralysis because a lot of people reckon, like a lot of the theories around like alien abduction comes from people having sleep paralysis as well, because they kind of look like greys, don't they? I think. But what you're describing almost sounds like a grey as well, in a way. So I wonder if it's like, I'm sure. Do you reckon? What do you think it is? Do you think it is just your brain playing tricks on you, or is it so real that you're like, nah, actually, this is definitely some sort of entity that is bugging me when I'm asleep sometimes?
I'm about 50-50.
Because you experience it and you can you see the
medically, like I said, I've been for a while dealing with insomnia, having anxiety, just all that part, like that makes sense. And my husband, he works in an ER night shift, so half of the week I'm sleeping by myself, and that's been an issue. I don't do good sleeping by myself. So I get that, like, I have a lot of anxiety and that kind of stuff. But also being Christian, like, I do believe that there are demons and, and that kind of stuff too. So I said, I'm about 50-50. I never feel attacked by him, like I said, except for him reaching for my face, and it was just scary. But he's like, not like earlier with Catherine, like not that feeling of being watched, but it's one of those things where he's more like a lich, because I have moved since. So he's been following me if you're going to go that route. So I don't know. I said, and he doesn't bother me. Things don't fall around my house. Like that kind of stuff would bother me.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Like, I imagine like sleep paralysis just must be so scary. Just even if you don't see anything, just for the fact that you've woken up and you can't physically move your body. And I think they recommend that if that does happen, that you try and like move a finger, and like once you start getting movement, like you start waking up. But I think I've never had it, so I don't know what it's like, but I've heard of people that have had it, and they say it's really scary for it to experience it.
Oh yeah, because it's like you wake up twice too, like, because you're up and like I said, you're dealing with this paralysis, but when you snap out of it, you get that feeling of waking up again. So you're just like, oh God, like, is this like Inception? How many times have I woken up?
I've had that before, like dreams and dreams, and I've sometimes known that I've been asleep and I've been able to control the dream.
I've never been able to do that. Oh, lucky.
A few times I've been able to kind of. It's very rarely it happens, but it's like it more often happens when I wake up and then I fall back asleep and I'm aware of the fact that I'm dreaming, but. Oh, pardon me. It's not something that happens an awful lot, though. So, but yeah, I mean, Carl doesn't sound. There was this. Somebody did it on Twitter. They did like this whole Twitter thread story. People might know it in chat. I can't remember who it was, but this guy basically started off about how he was having noises, and then he was just. It was just a ghost story, like through the means of social media. But the way he did it is like there was like first this little boy with like part of his head missing just in the corner of the room, and then you watch him like he takes all these pictures with his camera, and then in one of the pictures like the little boy is like just in front of his face, like hovering on the bed. It's like when you're watching it, it's like the way it's done is really clever. I can't remember, but
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go on.
Oh, have you ever? There's a couple of threads I think on Reddit of people who a lot more talented than I'll ever be, who draw their sleep paralysis demons, and that is some fucked up shit. Like,
no, I haven't.
Nightmare fuel. Do not look at that right before you go to bed.
I was gonna write it down. I don't have a pen here, but I might have to be reminded of that. That might be funny for a Halloween video. Look at Reddit.
Yeah, no, there's
Reddit threads.
I cannot draw for anything. Like I said, and Carl's like I said, he's mostly a silhouette, so I wouldn't have much to draw anyways, and he wouldn't be all that interesting. But
what made you name him Carl? Just to make him less scary?
Like oh, excuse me. My husband and I are both gamers, and just within the gamer thing, like if you're just frustrated with somebody, like if you're playing with another player and they suck, you just be like, damn it, Carl. Like it's just like a Karen.
It's like a Karen type thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of my way of dealing with him. I was just like, if I give him a stupid name, and apologies to people who have loved one named Carl, but but yeah, just something in my mind that is just ridiculous and silly, and that's meant to insult in a way. Like it was just my way of taking control, sort of, just not being as scared, because I suffer all of my life. I've had nightmares. I don't like I laugh when I'm like looking at the chat and just videos, and everybody's talking about their favorite horror movies, and I can't do any of that because it's just like I already have nightmares every night. I don't need help.
Yeah, that's horrible. I wonder if there's any reason why you're prone to that. Because usually speaking, you deal. I mean, that's maybe some personal stuff, but usually it's it's like you're dealing with things from your past and trying to. That's what dreams do, isn't it? Like you can often like correlate them back to life events of what's going on, or like suppressed memories and stuff like that. But anyway, let's not go there because we're going into like dead baby territory again.
Well, no, but like the one that, and I'm like curious to know if do you ever have the ones where like your teeth are falling out? Do you ever have those dreams?
No, I've never had that. No. What does it mean?
It means you're losing control of your life, and I am a control freak, so that makes sense.
Right. No, I don't really get stuff like I used to have really violent dreams where I'm like I beat people up, or if I have bad dreams, it's like either people like leave me, like people die or people leave me, stuff like that. But it doesn't happen often. Like I'm quite like I haven't had like nightmares in a long time. The last time I had like a bad dream, I dreamt that Eva was like cheating on me or something like that, and then I went for a walk. And I was still moody. I was like still moody by the time I go home, But luckily, stuff like that doesn't happen very often.
I know. Whenever my husband's a jerk in my dream, I wake like in the morning. I'm just like, you are such an asshole, and he's like, that wasn't me. And he's like, come on, like whatever. It feels so
real though. You heard me for real.
Experience it. You experience, and so it's like it's hard to like. It's like I'm still processing. Just let me be a little miffed with you, please. I'm trying not to take it out on you, but it was real for me.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I have my mum waiting backstage, and
just thank you so much for everything you do, Ilona. I've been around since.
Thank you. For like a long
3,000 subscribers, so I guess that was earlier this year. But
that is like you are like an OG. I remember seeing you. I see you always in my comment section. I really appreciate it. So thank you for being there. I appreciate it. And thank you for coming on to the live stream. Say bye to Pixie Face. We'll see you all in the chat. And now
I will see you all in the chat next time.
Yeah. And now we're going to get my mum on, and we're going to talk about ghost experiences that I didn't realize I was experiencing, but it turns out apparently I was right.
You got some explaining to do.
I know. Bad parenting. Right, see ya. All right, Mum, you ready for this? Hey, kan je me horen?
Kan je me horen? Hello?
Ja, ik hoor je. Hello, I can hear you.
Okay, hello everyone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, okay. So tell me about this house where until about half an hour ago, I've forgotten how scared I was of the attic. I remember it so well. No, it's so true. It's funny that we actually talked about this because I had completely forgotten about it. And I remember so vividly in Koudekerke, that little room, like the bed, just in my bedroom, I always felt creepy at times. Not always, just sometimes. And I remember vividly that crawl space next to my bedroom and the room in particular, even more so. That part in my bedroom where there was a crawl space as well. I remember, like, just thinking back on it now, it's actually giving me goosebumps. I remember I was always so scared to go in there. I don't know what it was. But I was always so scared to go in there. And I'd completely forgotten about that until literally about half an hour ago. Hello?
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 Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can they hear me on chat?
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay, it's the first time I'm doing this. Okay.
No, you're fine.
Well, the crawl hole, as you call it, when we moved in there, I never sensed anything about that house. And when I went up to the attic, it also seemed quite fine, but I didn't particularly like the crawl hole either. Don't know why, but it was like, it always felt cold. And I never thought much about it. And so you had your bedroom up there, and Kevin had his bedroom next to your dad and mine. And as time went by, and we had a dog, a German Shepherd called Dusty, and also Rex. No, hang on a minute. Dusty did Dusty live there? Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. And then we had Rex.
No, Dusty never did, I think. But
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't matter regardless.
Yeah, he did, because Rex came 2 years after Dusty. Either way, the dogs always tend to react to things. So after a while, we lived there for several years, and as the years went by, I did start to notice things, also because of the dogs. And one evening, and this was not long before we moved out, there was so much noise, which I thought was next door. It was like somebody was shuffling furniture.
The old people.
Yeah,
our fucking 80-year-old neighbors.
Yeah, but
I was going to say grandparents.
This was really weird. This was like 11 or something in the evening, quite late in the evening, or 12. I think it woke me up, and it was so loud. I mean, as if they were breaking up the furniture, moving the furniture, and it was all banging. And I thought, what the hell are they doing? So I even went outside and I even walked around to see what they were doing. But it was all dark, all the lights were out. It was in the middle of the night. And I thought it was really, really weird. And it went on for about 3 hours. And I couldn't understand why you guys never woke up, because I heard it very clearly. But also I regularly, I could see like a shade. If I was in bed, I could see a shade moving past in the hallway. So there was definitely something there. And I didn't like it, but I just, like you do, you just put it down to your own imagination. You think you see something. Either way, the day after, 1 or 2 days after, I saw the old people, and I said, "What were you doing that night?" And then he just looked at me and said, "What are you talking about? We've been away all weekend." So what the hell that was, I don't know. So yeah, there was. I think there was something there, but we moved away from there. But I actually think that we are sensitive to it, because your great grandmother, my grandmother, she had certain senses. Your nan, Oma, she has certain senses. I know I have, because I've been talking a lot with a medium, and he knew right away. And he is the one that taught me how to get in touch with my, how do you call that? Everybody has apparently a guardian angel of some kind, somebody, a spirit, somebody that guides them in life. We all have that apparently. So I can sense that entity. It gives me goosebumps when this entity is around. But anyway, yes, you are right. It happened. And when we moved to Sweden,
I swear that house in Sweden, there, like, tell me, like, I'm not making this up, right? Did not Mike always give me shit for like leaving lights on and leaving things on, or like TVs on and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And I would always, I even, hold on, I can't hear you. I'm losing my headphones. Because I remember we'd always have arguments about it, because I remember turning things off, and then the next morning it's a bollocking. It's like, oh, why didn't you turn this off? It's like, I did. I 100% did turn this off. This happened.
Yeah, I think there was something there too, because I do remember one particular evening. I don't know if you recall it. You were laying on the sofa, and I was sitting in a chair on the sofa. I can't remember now. And suddenly, because we were looking up in the ceiling, and there were all these shadows on the ceiling. Can you not remember that?
No. I must have been so scared I've just completely suppressed that. All right.
So, because you and me were talking, like, what the hell is that? We were just looking at it. But Rex, he ran off with the tail between his leg, and he went to the hallway where his little basket thingy was. And he did not come back at all. And there was no sound or anything, but there was all these really weird shades going on the ceiling. And we were looking at it for a long time, and we couldn't figure out what it was. So I don't know what the hell it was, but things were going on there too. Yeah.
Didn't Rex once like bark at like you told me about it, that he came home, that one day I came home from school or something, and you were like, you don't know what just happened, but Rex was just literally barking at the plant in the corner, and then you walked over and went like that, and he stopped, or something like that's kind of how I remember it.
Yeah, no, what happened was I was sitting in the living room, and Rex, he just suddenly turned around and started growling, putting up his teeth, looking at the corner where the light and the plant was like a standing light I had there. And he was like, he got really aggressive for it, and he just went in straight to the kitchen. And I had a look, like, why was he reacting like that? So now I have the approach. Every time I hear something, I sense something, I always speak out loud. Whoever you are not welcome. Go away. Just piss off. You're not welcome here. And this is what I wrote in the chat for those who, especially people who are religious. If you have any faith in anything and you are being bothered by an entity, pray out loud, because that will drive any uninvited, demon away. Always. You can ask the girl that you just had on. I think she might confirm that. Yeah.
Catherine, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, when you think back? Because I even remember in Vlissingen, in Halsterhammer, I remember people coming over and they feeling awkward. And like I remember sometimes hearing people walk up and down and like down the stairs when there was nobody there. And just always, but then at that time, like I was in a really bad space in my life, and I think we all kind of were. And I don't know if it was just a manifestation of all our bad energies, like poltergeisty, or whether it was like actually like a negative energy. But it definitely was. It's interesting because I've never really, some of the feelings that I've had in some of the houses, like Koudekerke and Halsterhammer, I've not felt like that in any other houses really since. Like sometimes I go somewhere and I do feel a bit creeped out, but not really to the extent that we had there.
Yeah, but that is because you also have a certain sense that hasn't been. I mean, let's face it. Every child that's born has all their senses intact. They speak about a sixth sense. We all have that. The pineal gland that we have in our brain is very much developed when we are born. But over time, as we get older, all the influences around us, our parents, the school, society, as a child, when you encounter something and you tell it to your parent, the parent will say, oh, either you had a bad dream, or that's just your imagination. They wave it off, and
but you have to do. You can't tell a child like, oh, mummy, I saw a ghost. You can't go like, yeah, actually, honey, you are seeing fucking spirits. That's like traumatizing, isn't it? I don't know.
Well, no, why should it be? I mean, if I knew back then what I know now, I would have approached everything completely different. But I didn't know. I was just as ignorant as everybody else. But I'm learning as I get older. So that is why I don't dismiss things when they say, oh, he or she, the child has an imaginary friend. It probably is actually talking to an entity. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know, because we can't see it, because we are so numbed down in our minds. We've lost that spirituality. We've lost that connection. So we can't hear, see, or feel it. Some of us can. You can. I can. You know, some of us still can, but a lot of people can't. And then it becomes really difficult. And then you just dismiss it.
Yeah. Didn't you once go and see some guy that was like a priest or something, and he was telling you about some old man that apologized for like scaring you when you were a kid because you woke up and it was like some like guy standing over you, and it turned out to be your granddad or great granddad or something
right
like that.
Now. Yeah, no, I went to see a medium. What happened was, and I wrote that in the chat a little while ago, my earliest memory was when I was about 3, and we lived in Bellamy Park in Vlissingen. And I used to see shadows, and I used to see all sort of things. And I was scared, and I didn't know exactly why I was scared. So I used to always go and sleep with my grandparents. Finally, I had like my little bed next to their bed. And one night I woke up and I saw a man with a big mustache standing, at the foot end of my bed. And he was just staring at me. And in my memory, he didn't have eyes. He had like crosses. But it's wrong. He probably had eyes, but as a child in my memory. And it really, really like totally petrified me. So I remember crawling under the blanket, and I fell asleep all sweaty and everything. And then the next morning when I told my grandmother about it, and grandpa and my mom, they were like, no, you just had a nightmare, what parents normally say. You had a nightmare, don't worry about it. But I didn't forget about it. A couple of years later, as I got older, we were looking through photograph books, and there was the man. It turned out it was the father of my grandmother, and he was the one that stood at my bed. So many years later, when I lived in England, when we were in England, I went to this medium, and the medium, we would, he picked up things, and we started talking about it, and he said that, well, apparently this is what he said. I mean, whether he was lying or not, I don't know. But he kept telling me stuff about my childhood. There's no way he could have known that. So he I kind of thought, this guy might be genuine. He might actually, because some people have this gift. And he said that there's a person here who wants to apologize. He's very, very sorry for scaring you. So when you were young, he only wanted to see you. Oh, he only came to visit. He just wanted to see you. He didn't expect you to wake up, and he's really sorry for scaring you. And that's, when I got the confirmation that I wasn't dreaming, it was real. I did see the man. Yeah. So, and I'm now totally different. I'm not afraid anymore, so.
But do you think you've ever encountered anything that's evil, though? Like actually malicious? Demonic?
I might have done, but I don't know. Somehow, as I said, we all have our guides with us, our spiritual guides, and they do help. If it's hard to say. So I think I have a very good guide. That's what I think.
Didn't you see that medium, and he told you had all kinds, like you had like a whole like farm of animals with you or something like that?
Yeah, no, that was actually the same man, and I have it confirmed twice by other mediums. When they see me, they see animals around me. They see birds, they see dogs, they see cats. So I do have animal spirits around me. Now, I've had 2 dogs. I mean, my mum, she's had cats. My grandmother, she had birds, and I loved every one of them. So I don't know, maybe they clung on to me. I don't know. Sadly, I wish I could see them. I really do, but I can't.
Do you reckon they're guardian angels, if you like, if that's what they are, or like something like that, right? Do you reckon they split themselves amongst the people, or do you reckon they just attach themselves to one person, or do you reckon that, like, for example, Oma's mother can she be like one of my guardian spirits? Because she's always wanted to meet me, but she passed away right before I was born.
Well,
do you reckon she could be watching over me, or is it only people that you have had in your life?
No, apparently this is what the medium that I've been talking to for two years when I lived in England explained to me. There are so many levels, and what we know in this, you see, how do I explain this? There are a variety of levels of spirits and entities. We all apparently, I mean, I'm just saying what he told me. Apparently, every human being has a guardian angel. It's not necessarily a person that you know or is from your family. It could. Some people have a very ancient guardian angel. It could be I can't say a man or woman because I don't know what it is, that lived 100,000 years ago, and they are attached to you. So how it all works, I do not know, but I find it all very intriguing. And, I like to learn more about these things, even though most people just dismiss it. They just say, it's all bullshit. It doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. But I think when you don't really know something, I think it is a bit naive to just dismiss it because you don't know or understand or haven't seen. I think everybody, if I just aim at the chat right now, I'm pretty sure that everybody in chat sometimes goes somewhere and all of a sudden they get this chill over their back. They just get goosebumps for no apparent reason. Those are those are your guardians, and they always try to, they are there for you. And if you start to try and get in touch with them, you might actually sense them. It might be, that it gets a little bit colder in the room, or you like what I get goosebumps. I get like electrified because I can sense the person or the entity. I think everybody has that, like deja vu. Everybody's had deja vu in their life. Everybody's encountered really weird things in their lives they couldn't explain. So I think there's a lot more to this than what we actually know. And I think once we cross over, we will understand a hell of a lot more than what we do now, tied up in these bodies that we have when we are here on this earth, in this life, in this shape and form. Because what you see, that isn't us. The real us you cannot see is inside, and that travels on. People say when you die, no, your body, that dies, but you do not die ever.
Yeah, I don't know what I think about all of that. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I think about what's going to happen after you pass on. Whether there is such a soul, whether there isn't, I don't know.
That's the beauty of it. Nobody knows.
But the thing is, though, what is interesting with that is that, like, for example, even when, like, Dad, when he was getting his opera, like, and my dad's like the most. He doesn't believe in any of that stuff, right? He's very like, it doesn't exist whatsoever. And when he had his operation over Christmas, he said that when he was getting operated, he was getting part of his lung removed. I reckon he died on the operating table because he saw his brother. And he's like, I can't explain, but I 100% saw my brother. And like, I know I saw him. And this wasn't a dream. Like, I know I saw him. And, he reckons he died. And, Evo's almost passed away before as well. And he's seen the light. And he's been in some freak accidents that he shouldn't have even survived. Which is like, is it just a freak accident? Or is it guardian angels? I don't know. Like, I think I'm very much like, I kind of believe, I kind of don't believe. But I'm open to it. I think I'm open to having my mind changed if I experience something. But then having thought back, I've definitely experienced spirits. But then for me, it's like, do I believe in demons and angels and God and heaven and hell? I don't so much, but maybe it's not so much heaven and hell. Maybe it's more like the soul goes on and it is peaceful, or the soul stays tormented and that makes it a heaven and a hell. Maybe it's not quite so biblical. I don't know, but it's interesting. I still like it, though. I do still think it's really fascinating. It's just, I don't know necessarily where I stand with everything, but that's okay. Like, I'm open to exploring it.
Well, the thing is, people, when it comes to demons, they do exist. There's plenty over history, of examples observed also by others. So I do think that they exist, but I also think people can attract them by their own ignorance, because they don't know what they're doing and they're just reckless. I think people need to be a little more careful. As I mean, like the other ladies, what's her name again? The one before Pink. Pixie, the one before Pixie. Catherine, like she will probably confirm, everything is energy. It's all different levels of energy, and thoughts, for instance. Every thought that you have is created and it doesn't go away. That's an energy that stays. So always be careful what you wish for. Usually when you wish for a lot of things, actually it can come true. If you really, really want it and you really believe it with love in your heart, this is the key thing that people also underestimate. The emotion that you have in you from the heart, you can do so much. The power of the mind is huge.
I believe that, but I don't believe in The Secret. I don't believe in affirmations. I don't think if I sit here and I go, I want a nice body, I really want to have a nice body, I really, really want to have a nice body, that nice body is only going to come by me dieting and exercising. I don't think that me putting a thought into the universe is going to manifest. I have to do work for that. Now, if you truly, I think maybe The Secret is kind of like, if you truly believe something, that you change your life to reach that goal, and it becomes more likely that you reach it because you truly believe it. But I don't think you can just think and things manifest. Like, I don't believe that. You have to work for things.
No, I don't mean it that way. I just, it's hard to explain. But often, if you think back, if everybody thinks back on their own lives, when they really wanted something, or when they have, certain expectation, I don't say always, but it can actually come true quite often. I'm just speaking from my own experience, so I don't know about the rest. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's all interesting. I think there's a lot to talk about, a lot to uncover, isn't there? But it was interesting to have the thoughts reaffirmed of me thinking that the places I've lived in were potentially haunted, and it's nice to have that confirmed by somebody else that yes, these definitely weird things definitely happened.
I wonder if Kevin ever experienced it, because he never says much. I really need to pick his brain if he can remember. What's that noise?
He's like trying to put an inverted table in here. Why do you have to do it now? Could you not wait for 10 minutes? I'm like almost done with my live stream. He's like trying to move an inverted table into the living room. Typical. Come on. I don't know, actually. I'll check with him. I'll ask him. I'll send him a message after this, and I'll see if he's ever. I don't think so. Kevin is. I don't know. Kevin is a weird one. Like sometimes he surprises me with his. Like sometimes he's very black and white, and other times he's like very grey. It depends. So I don't know. I'll check with him. I'll ask him if he's ever. I'll say that we've had a chat, and I'll see if he remembers anything at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go because you're coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
My mom's coming tomorrow, guys. We'll do some videos together.
All right. I'm out.
All right. All right. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I turn this off?
It's all right. I'll remove you. Don't worry. All right, guys. How was that? Did you enjoy it? Evo is being the ghost now. Yeah. Let me just turn these bloody headphones off. I enjoyed this. I thought this was really interesting. I had some lovely conversations. So thank you very much to every single guest that came on. I really appreciate it. It is, interesting to hear these stories. I think it's, I still don't know what I think, but I do feel a little bit creeped out. I very much enjoyed it. If there's a lot of interest, I might do this again next weekend. Maybe yes, maybe no. We'll see. But now it looks like my husband is dying to turn himself. Shall I show you? Hold on. Try not to flash you guys. Hold on. Let me try and get the. Let me show you what he's doing. Yeah, turn on the light. Hold on. All right. You're gonna test it, are you?
I think so.
All right.
Before.
Please don't break your neck.
I hope so.
Okay, because I'm filming right now. I can't attend to you.
I'll break my neck live, yeah.
Yeah, break your neck live. Oh my fucking god, don't. Touch wood. Don't.
I do that.
Okay, that means everything. So this, guys, is called an inversion table. And basically, you use an inversion table to, it's for your spine. Oh my god, I was wondering what that was, but it's me in the corner. I was like, that looks all creepy, and it's my face. Basically, you hang upside down and it decompresses your spine. It's supposed to be very good. Please be careful.
I think I do it right.
Don't say stupid things like that.
Seriously, I think.
Okay. The safety's on.
Yeah, safety. And I put the safety.
Okay. 1. Oh my god, he's floating! And that's it. There you go.
Oh, so good.
So there you go. There's Evo just casually hanging upside down.
I need my Batman t-shirt.
You need your Batman t-shirt, yeah? But anyway, guys, let me know if you've enjoyed this. Make sure to like the stream so I know what to do. I'll do a poll and see if I'll do this again. See if any other people are interested in joining and doing the same thing, because I like hearing ghost stories. I think it's fascinating. So yeah, we'll go from there. But just bear with me until probably this next week or so. I probably won't upload as much. By that I mean I'll probably upload every day still, because I'm doing Vlogtober. But I won't upload quite as much because of the fact that my mum's going to be here and I don't want to be doing reactions and all of that. I'm just going to do some uploads. My eyebrows are crazy like this, aren't they? So yeah, I'll definitely, I'll be uploading, just not as much. I might go live a few times. Just if my mum's here, it's more convenient. But we're going to do fun stuff. We're going to go training. We're going to go to garden centers. We're going to go to IKEA. We're going to go for walks. So there'll be some nice vlogs coming up, but probably not much other content. So yeah. Anyway, that's it, guys. So thank you very much for everybody that came. I really appreciate it. Once again, thank you again to my guests for joining. I appreciate you sharing my stories, sharing your stories. Sharing your stories with me is what I meant to say. Sorry, I can't speak English sometimes. It's just not often. But yes, have a good weekend, guys. Stay safe. Get your, do some saging if you feel like you need it after this. And I'll be back soon. Bye.